joining us for this second video. If you haven't watched the first video about understanding outcome-based report cards in general, I hope you have a chance to take a look at that one before this one, because I think it will help this one make more sense as we go through it. This one will be short. I just want to show you the actual indicators that we are going to use on the Raymond Elementary School report card, just so you have an understanding of what they are, and then I'm going to actually bring in a teacher to explain how these outcomes help us, or how these indicators help us at school. So first of all, we have on the Division 1 report card, we have 3 indicators. So the first indicator is achieved. So this means that the student is at grade level, and the student demonstrates a well-developed and consistent understanding of the outcomes and uses and applies acquired skills and strategies in most learning situations. So what this one would mean, if a student received achieved on an outcome, it would say, this student does really well and can show us that they're understanding according to the level of expectations that Alberta has for this grade, and can do really well with that outcome. The second one is progressing, and what that means is they're still approaching grade level with additional support. So they are doing quite well, and they're moving towards being able to handle that outcome independently. But at the moment of the report card, when it was put on there, what that means is in order to achieve that outcome, there's still support that's needed in order to get them there. And then the last one, called not yet, means that they're below grade level and that they're requiring a significant amount of support in order to achieve what it is that they're working on to be able to show any level of understanding of that outcome. Now when we get to the Division 2 level, so in grade 4 you'll see this indicator added to the scale, and so there's a mastery option at that point. So if students have gotten to the point where they are achieving things independently, they're understanding an outcome, this one becomes an option that they can work towards. So the students demonstrate in-depth and broad understanding of the outcome. And this sentence is key here. I want to point this one out. It says, uses and applies acquired skills and strategies in a wide variety of learning situations. So it shows that a student can actually take the learning that is coming, and they can be able to apply it into a situation that's new to them. Not just always apply it in the exact situation that they learned it in. So this wide variety of learning situations, being able to transfer that learning, is key here. So with that, I just want to point out that the point of the indicators is to actually, there's 2 things. One, it can show a student, here's what it is that you're striving towards, and there's exemplars that you put in place to be able to show students, here's what achieved looks like, here's what progressing looks like, and in Div 2 we can even put exemplars of here's what mastery looks like, and that can help students know where they're at in their understanding and how to grow to that next level of understanding. And it can also help us on report cards to be able to show parents, here's the level of expectation for these different outcomes that are going on to the report card. So on the next slide that I'm going to put up here, I'm going to actually bring in the grade 6 teacher. You won't see her, you're just going to hear her voice while you look at the slide, but she's going to explain how she uses those exemplars to be able to help students, and also to be able to help students or parents understand the report card. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this video, and as she goes through that, hopefully that's useful to you. And good luck with your student's report card that comes out shortly.
Here's an example of how we would use a classroom assignment to help give us information for an outcome-based report card. The first thing we do as a grade team is decide on essential outcomes that we will be reporting on to parents. So the outcome I'm working with is language arts, revising, and editing. On a report card statement, a parent may see something that says, revise and edit own another's work to improve focus, readability, grammar, spelling, and presentation. The examples I have used below are narrative paragraphs pulled from an autobiography project. Throughout the course of this assignment, students worked through the writing process to share a number of memories with their reader. I know that you are able to see a finished product, but it's important to understand that there are a number of other considerations that teachers take into account before we make a final determination for a report card. During the writing process, teachers will conference with students a number of times. This will allow them to see how much support a student requires throughout the assignment and to understand if there was a specific area that they needed more help with from teachers or from peers. When we are looking at a final product, then I'm looking for if a student was able to revise and edit. For revising, I would be asking questions such as, have they supported their ideas with relevant and engaging details? And is their writing clear for the reader, or are readers left with further questions? For editing, I would ask questions such as, have they gone back into their work to look at conventions, such as capitals, punctuation, spelling, grammar, sentence structure, and so on. The paragraph Goose Island is an example of mastery because the student went back into their work and gave examples of descriptive language, showing not telling. They provided relevant and engaging details. Their focus remained clear throughout the paragraph, and there were little to no convention errors. The example, the fish tank, is an example of achieved because they have kept a clear focus throughout the paragraph. They have provided details. They have included some descriptive word choice, and there are little to no convention errors. The paragraph, How I Got My Scooter, is an example of progressing because the student has a clear focus throughout the paragraph, but their ideas may lack detail, word choice may not have been considered, and there are a number of convention errors throughout the paragraph. The paragraph, My Dog, is an example of a not yet because the focus is limited. There's repetitive sentence structure. There's not an expansion on ideas. Word choice has not been considered, and there are a number of convention errors throughout the writing.